How you collect rent can make or break your rental business. Tell me in the comments below if you think your system's better than this. Collecting rent can be daunting, especially for new landlords. There's cash, check, money orders, debit card, credit card, Venmo, PayPal. If you don't know how all of these work and the pros and cons of each, then you cannot pick the one that is most efficient for your rental business. If you smash that like button as hard as you can, all your tenants will pay on time next month. More importantly though, did you know that there's legal issues surrounding how and when you collect your rent? It can even determine if you're allowed to evict or not. So there's multiple ways to collect rent. Cash, check, money order, debit, credit, PayPal, Venmo. There's even big sites for processing credit card transactions. I think the main thing to remember when collecting rent is that you keep good records. Let's go over a few of these options that are more popular and help you decide if it's right for your business. Cash is probably the easiest, so we'll start with that one first. Most small landlords use cash to start with, and that is totally fine. The problems with cash, though, is that it is hard to track, so make sure that you're writing receipts and getting it stuck in a bank account immediately. This will help you in the long run when it comes to filing your taxes at the end of the year. One thing I want all you new landlords to watch out for is that there's a scam going around that a lot of landlords run into where a tenant will pay half of the rent or a portion of the rent and tell you they'll pay the rest of it later. Unfortunately, in a lot of states, if they don't pay that rent later, you can't evict them. So any amount that they pay toward the lease is considered rent. And if you've accepted it, you've accepted rent for that month and you cannot evict that month. This is going to vary state to state. So make sure to check your tenant landlord laws. And if you have questions, please contact an attorney. Next is checks and money orders. And with a new payment method comes new tenant shenanigans. Some tenants will like to mail it out on the 1st, but you need to make sure they understand that it needs to arrive to you by the 1st. The best way to do this is just not to accept rent in the mail. Make sure that your checks and money orders are hand delivered. And if you have to accept it in the mail, make sure the tenant understands that it needs to arrive to you before or by the 1st. Otherwise, it's late. On to things like PayPal and Venmo. These are great for small landlords trying to get started in electronic payments. Take it from me, you're gonna have issues with some tenants not having these accounts. Not every tenant has a PayPal account. Also, things like PayPal still charge a fee, and it takes time to transfer from your PayPal account into your bank account where it's useful, usually 3 to 5 days. You may end up in a situation where half your tenants are using PayPal and Venmo, and the other half are paying with cash and check. This is not ideal. Finally, I want to talk about online property management systems. There's lots to choose from, and most of them are pretty good. However, the one common theme they have is they all have annual subscription fees. You also usually have to pay a processing fee. The one nice thing about them, though, is not only do you get to collect rent, but you can also sign leases, manage your buildings, manage your tenants, schedule tasks, schedule repairs, all types of stuff. The system that we've been using for about 6 years now, Buildium, allows us to collect rent using debit, credit, ACH, the works. It wasn't until we grew to a point where our buildings were about 30 minutes apart that I switched over to an online system. The reason I did this was because it saves me a lot of time from having to chase down tenants. Also, we really appreciate being able to sign leases electronically and manage our buildings electronically. Finally, since we use an online system, all the rent is kept in a ledger and there's no guesswork when it comes to the end of the year for taxes. If you're interested in giving Buildium a try, there's an affiliate link in the description below. Now you have the information you need to pick a rent system that's right for your business. Remember, payment systems are not a permanent solution. You should be constantly reevaluating them. What works today may not work tomorrow for you. All right, property leaders, that's enough for today. I want you to get out into those buildings and find something to fix, huh? Hey there, property leaders, we need your help. Time to get up off your ass and help some kids. We're trying to feed kids. There are kids here in the United States that are going hungry. They're food insecure. They don't know where their next meal is coming from, and that is a big deal. Head over to leadershipforlandlords.com and check out our shop. We have coffee cups, we've got journals, we've got mouse pads, t-shirts. You can even buy my book. If you buy magnet or sticker, we'll feed 3 kids. If you buy anything else, we'll feed 6 kids. Get over to Leadership for Landlords and do something good, huh?